Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Today I get to show you a pre-owned 2023 Newmar Essex. This is the 4551 floor plan. What really got my attention with this coach was the color palette. I think it's so soothing and homey. I see a lot of white cabinets nowadays or really dark cabinets, and sometimes I long for just a muted color palette, and this one definitely delivers. It's so bright and clean, and the previous owners that are trading this in took exceptional care of this unit. It's in excellent shape from the day that it got here. We haven't had to do much to it at all, but this is, because it's a pre-owned unit, going to be such an exceptional price on the second from the top of the line for the Newmars. So what that means is that it's not a King Air. It's very similar in its amenities, and this is being an Essex. It's built on the Spartan K3 chassis, and we have a 605 Cummins engine and all the niceties that you can get even in the King Air, but a very different look. So this Essex has always aimed to be a more traditional line, whereas King Air is more modern. But you're still going to get all of those great amenities, the awesome largest horsepower you can get, a really stable ride with air leveling, as well as your traditional arms that come down for leveling. You've got these incredibly large bus windows here, solid wood cabinetry, porcelain tile, heated floors. We've got automatic or electric blinds in here, and we've got these 4K flat screen Samsung TVs sprinkled throughout. All of the surfaces in this unit are going to be a solid surface or Corian, and they have done great lengths to make this very homey and handcrafted for you. For example, they grout the tile floors for you. They hand make these beautiful air conditioning covers here for you. Just little things like that that just make such a nice difference. So let's dig in a little bit. This living area, we have a jackknife sleeper sofa here right below this TV that is on a lift. So that TV can be tucked away when not in use. And then we have these really plush, comfortable theater seats directly across. They, of course, have, they're electric, and they have some storage in here for you to keep all of your little parts and pieces. There is a Samsung tablet included in this unit as well. And the point of that is to be able to control everything inside of the coach from a seat inside or outside. You can control the blinds, the awnings, the heat, the cool, etc. So for the heating and cooling on this unit, we have a continuous hot water system that also serves as your furnace. That's going to be the Oasis Chinook dual loop system, so the best of the best. We also will have heated floors available in 3 zones, so those will even be in the slide out areas. We have 3 air conditioning units that are 15,000 BTUs apiece, and they also have heat pumps included. So you're definitely covered in heat or cool, whatever kind of temperature that you're camping in. We also have top of the line insulation in this coach underneath and on the sides and the roof. I mean, Newmar does not mess around. And one of the ways that you can tell that is that I'm parked right next to Colorado's largest interstate, which is I-25, and I can barely hear the cars passing. So that's just a testament to how well this is insulated. So moving over, this is our booth dinette. This is kind of an unusual one in that it doesn't come out very far. What that's going to benefit you is that you can get a little bit more pass-through space when the slides are in, and I will show you that when we get toward the end of the interior. But there are additional chairs that can come and be seated right here as well. So when it's just the two of you, you can sit right here, be cozy with each other, and then this table can move in and out and up and down, of course, for you. So I'll just show you a little bit of how that works. Here's to get a little bit more leg room or space to get inside and out of there. But again, it tucks in really easily so that you can get that pass-through space when you're walking through. This table also goes up and down. I just put it down, and I'll show you a little bit of up. So this can make it a really great accommodation for if you're using this as a work desk to get to a comfortable height for your keyboard. So I'll just put that back in because we're not going to use it right now. And I wish that you could feel through the camera how soft this leather is here. It's in excellent condition, but it's also just very soft and supple and nice to sit on. It doesn't feel sticky or slippery or cheap, may I say. All right, moving over into the kitchen area, I'm going to just quickly go through storage and what we have in here. In all of these little cabinets, you're going to see there's a felt carpet lining, and that's going to help with noise, vibration, things shifting around. Adjustable shelves, of course. Directly above here, a great place for your spices. We have a Bosch convection microwave here, and that's a really large capacity there. Of course, we have an induction cooktop because this is a 100% electric coach. There is no propane on board. And as Newmar cleverly added cutting boards on the opposite side of those covers, so no space is wasted. But this is an exception in that it does not go outside. This induction cooktop, we have one large burner, medium burner, and a small burner here though. So that's actually quite nice versus the 2-burner that you can pop out in the lower line of the Newmar models. Really nice kitchen window was an option that was added back there, and that really gives a lot of light to this area. Right here we have an extension for our countertop. Tucks away nice and neatly, and then of course full extension drawers in here. You can see these are solid wood drawers, very stout, and of course soft closing as well. And then when you don't need this space anymore, this can go away really easily right there. Nice place for your utensils and serving things. There is some extra touch-up paint in case you were to ever get a little nick in the paint outside. And then of course we have a dishwasher down here. Let's see if I can get it to open. Sometimes they're finicky. Let's see. No, not today. If you want to see a picture of that, I'm more than happy to get that for you. But all right, lots of great storage up here. Really nice pull-out shelf so that you can reach to the back of that area. This is a great place to check out the hinges too. Newmar does a great job from the factory putting out a really high quality product. So over the years, this unit is really 3 years old technically now, because now we have our 26s on the lot. This is not squeaking, it is not unstable at all. This is completely intact because of the way they built it from the get-go. Also, the previous owners, you know, took care with it because they loved this baby here. A little bit more storage over here. And I'll go through these real quick, but you've got a really great place for pencils, pens, notepads, chapstick, whatever it is you put in your little junk drawers. Here's another one. And then under the sink for your sponges and such. Pull out for your trash and recycle. And then another really great pull out here under that sink. So every little inch of that space can be used. Now again, these are Corian covers. These can be tucked away when not in use. And for right now, we can keep them here, but we've got a really nice double stainless steel sink. Of course, there's a little sprayer integrated in there. Little winterizer just came out, nothing to be alarmed about, but we never know if it's going to freeze at night here, so we have to make sure everything's winterized. There we go. Okay, moving on, we have our Bosch refrigerator freezer. We've got ice and water in the door, and that is something that's hard to find on a motorhome actually. So I know it's kind of a big deal to some people to have this here. Newmar does a really sleek lock here that's just a slide, so it's not bulky and taking up the aesthetic on the front of your refrigerator. But look at that beautiful refrigerator there. This is another sign of someone that took really good care of their motorhome, is that the refrigerator is not stained and marked up. but lots more space in there. We also have an exterior refrigerator freezer, not to spoil the surprise, but just so you know, you can make Costco runs and still have room for stuff in this coach. All right, over here we have your adjustable pantry shelves, and these pull out full extension again, but we can move the spacing of these if we choose. This bar right here is actually a lock that comes across when you put the coach into drive, and that's just an extra safety to make sure that your things aren't flying out if this didn't happen to stay shut or get shut correctly. Down here we have a little place to put cutting boards or your sink covers, pots and pans, etc. And these are, of course, you can change the size of those according to what you need. All right, here we have your half bath. And on the Essex line, you get a really sleek door handle. The reason for that is, one, it looks nice, but also when you're going by in a tight space, a handle happens or tends to get snagged on your shirts or pant loops, things like that. So they kind of get in the way, whereas this is just totally tucked away and hidden. When you need to use it, you just flip it like that. It's super easy. And then this is a pivot door. Newmar does a lot of those so that it's a little bit easier to get into this space when the slides are closed. And we'll look at that in a little bit, as I promised. All right, coming into this half bathroom, we do have a max fan here. Then we have some brains, lots and lots of breakers, things like that up here that you can easily access. We have a door, or excuse me, a window that can open here for some fresh air, and it does have an integrated screen in there, so you can actually have that open with a little fresh air. We have a medicine cabinet that lights up right here with some 110s already included in there. A little bitty sink to wash your hands, which is so adorable. And then down here, we've got some more storage. I'll open this and then get out of the way. But what I'll mention is that this and your master bathroom's toilet are macerating toilets. We also have your vacuum system already in here. So to plug in a traditional vacuum, that hose would just attach right there. To do a sweep plate, you would just kick right here, and that would suck the debris away. Really nice to have that on board. You don't have to bring an extra stick vacuum along with you and take up more space. All right, moving into the master bedroom. This is a king, and it is an actual king, not an RV king. We've got lots of great storage up here. Goes actually pretty deep back. One of the things that Newmar does that's extra, they give you a little port here in case you have a sleep apnea machine and you need your tubing to go through, or cords, wires, etc. for anything under there. We have reading lights on either side. And then, excuse me, I'm going to have to get up here for just a minute to show you this. Got another great place back there, 110. And then under here where you can't see, there's a little control panel that will control your lights, generator, water pump, floor heat, and other things like that that are going to be really handy so you don't have to get up first thing in the morning or in the middle of the night to be able to see your way to the bathroom or whatever it is you need to do, turn off the lights, etc. So on our little side tables, we have chargers. Those are for your cell phone. You can just set that right there and get some charging done while you're sleeping. And of course, some storage down there as well. And those are going to be replicated on both sides of the bed here. Got a really nice cushy mattress here. And this is an air mattress. There is an air pump system under it, very much like the Sleep Number. Sleep Number pulled out of the RV market, but it's basically the same idea, just not that brand. All right. I'll show you there is some storage under this bed, and it's on some shocks here, so it makes it very easy to open and close, but a good amount of space for linens or whatever it is you need to hide under there. All right, and then directly across, we have this big, beautiful emergency exit window. It also has an integrated screen, as that bathroom window did. We've got our flat screen Samsung TV, a couple of really nice storage cabinets here, and then of course we've got some drawers underneath, and I'll show you those as well. So full extension, actually quite deep. And you've got 6 of those. So lots of places to put your things. And of course, a Corian countertop also. This is something that I feel like we need to touch on. So here we've seen these panels throughout the coach. These are going to be controlling lights, your shades, your fans, your water pump, your generator. More of a simple system right here, your window awnings. This one dives a little bit deeper as far as how is my AC DC power working? Do I have my inverters on? You do have 2 inverters on this, as well as some lithium batteries. How's my generator doing? Is it set for auto gen start? Do I need to start it, stop it here, etc. Water tanks, climate control can be checked from here as well. Block heater, batteries, camera system. So this has an upgraded, what's called a security system. You can check your cameras on all sides of this coach from here, from that Samsung tablet, or from the My Rosie app, which this is connected to. So really nice to be able to see what's going on without having to get up and go out and find out what's going on. We also have light controls in very great detail here. And then shades, door locks, vent fans, awnings, floor heat, etc. So very, very smart system going on here. Sorry, there we go, back to home. We also have your slide out control here, which I promise we will get back to. You'll notice there is porcelain tile floor here, which has been grouted throughout. This is definitely a residential build, and Newmar is known for not having those crack and pop, which is remarkable when you are thinking about what a coach goes through when it's going down the road every day. There should be a lot of bend and twist and bumps and things like that. But structurally, Newmar does such a fantastic job that that's not an issue here. They do include some extra tiles in case you were to drop your cast iron pan on it or something like that. But generally, I see them still in their wrappers, not used. So that's a testament to the quality of build here. All right, moving into the master bathroom, we of course have a pocket door here. There's a pocket door coming into this master bedroom area as well that looks the same. But on this side, what you can't see is there's a full-length mirror. So you can check out and make sure that your shirt's not on backwards and you don't have spinach in your teeth. So it's a great, great feature. Moving here, we have your washer and dryer. I love how this door opens fully so I can really get in there and not be blocked. Something to note here is that this is a 220 dryer. That's a big, big deal in a motorhome. It's going to be a much quicker dry for you and not available anymore in the Essex. So sorry about that. Didn't mean to be so loud. All right. Moving into this master bathroom, you'll see we've got these really beautiful cathedral ceilings. It makes it feel a lot bigger and more open in here. Even in here, the air conditioning is covered with a beautiful facade. So you don't have to look at those plastic vents. This side here, just access to get to your water and things for your washer dryer if you need to. Really beautiful two-tone on our faucets throughout the coach, including in the shower, which we'll see in a minute. But let's look at the little storage here. That's your Q-tip dispenser and your floss right there. Just kidding, you do whatever you want with it. They're just so tiny and adorable. So a little bit more storage here, and then we've got 4 pullouts here. A little sticky there. Did you see that? How it was a little sticky for me to get out? That is a good thing in a motorhome because you do not want these flying out if you take a corner a little too sharp. And of course, soft close. This side, a replica of the one we just looked at, but this one has a little bit of a medicine cabinet integrated there. And then you'll see we have yet another one of those touch panels. These are just scattered throughout basically to help you have light when you need it, but also shades and fans as well. Okay, really nice cedar-lined closet here. Got some great shelving, safe already included. I'll let you see the other side of this too, because this is kind of special. It was an add-on. This storage place is for handbags, shoes, or hats, whatever it is that you need to keep a little bit more protected in your closet. And then 2 more drawers in here as well. And a little bit more to the side here of hanging things. I can only imagine the arguments my customers will have when they come in here. This is yours, the wife will say to the husband, and that's mine. That's usually how that conversation goes. And then there's a little lock integrated here. It's very simple to use. Okay, here we have your emergency exit door. So clever, so nice to have this here to load and unload your items, as well as just get some air into the coach quickly if you need to. But a really great idea if there ever were an emergency that you could get yourself and your pets out quite easily. When we get to the outside of the coach, we'll see just how low it is to the ground. So much easier than trying to get through a little window. Of course, another porcelain macerating toilet. And that's about it for this back bathroom. Oh, I missed the shower. How could I miss that? This is a really good size shower. You can see those bronze accents throughout. I'm going to just step in there so you can see a little bit about this. Of course, we'll clean it before you take delivery, but you've got a really nice shower head here. We have a sprayer head as well that it's just laying there because it's winterized right now. We have the AquaView system, and what that does is recycle the water in the tank until it's at the right temperature. When it's at the right temperature, this light comes on, and then you can tell it to come on out. So you turn it on and it'll start coming out of here. So you're not wasting all that cold water waiting for things to heat up. We of course have conditioner, shampoo, body wash here, a grab handle, and a teak seat for you in here that can be folded away when not in use. Really nice. And of course, another little lock there just to keep it from flying open in case. All right, I'm going to start bringing slides in so we can get a really good look at the coach when it is in travel mode. So important to check this out before you purchase a motorhome. How much room you're going to have to walk through, how much room your pets will have, because that can become an issue and a reason that people trade in, believe it or not. Now this back bed will always touch this dresser area when there's a bath and a half. That's one of the reasons you'll have that half bath. Also for guests and things like that to not be in your master suite area. I'm going to grab my notepad before I go up and do the rest here. All right. And then our other slide controls are right here. And I always like to do them one at a time. This one's going to be a little squeaky. Sorry about that. This is a hydraulic slide here. You'll notice that it lifted up before it's coming in. And it will stay lifted up while it is in. But when it goes down, you have a flush floor. And that's something unique to Newmar. All right, now we'll bring in the passenger side, and that is the original cogwheel slide system that Newmar invented and still uses. Different sound, both are very sturdy and reliable. All right, and the cogwheel slides do have an integrated lock there, so you don't have to worry about putting a slide lock in there. It does it all by itself. The hydraulic slide does as well, but it's just not visible to us. All right, so walking through. There are some spots you probably need to turn a little bit sideways here. This one's going to be a little tighter, and I'm thinking I didn't get this in all the way. Let's see if I can get it to tuck in a little better. So you can see, oh, this might actually be it. But again, good thing to check, right? Yep, looks like that's in all the way, but it's not down all the way. There we go. There, okay. So that's gonna be a tight one, guys. To get to that back bathroom, I'm gonna say you're probably gonna have to go around this table to get there, or suck it in really good this way. So good to know. All right. Front cab area is very fancy. We'll start with this panel up here. We do have a WineGuard satellite system included. We do have a Wi-Fi booster system included. A lot of people are using Starlink instead of that, but just know that those are already integrated in here and included. Girard awning system here. These were our in and out for our slides. Exterior LED, exterior entrance and step can be turned off. Your Wi-Fi router on off. This is a diagnostic port for a technician to be able to plug in and see if there's something going on, fault codes and things like that. Security lights, driver security lights, passenger security lights. We have drapes up front here that are on a powered switch. This is your night shade. And these are the same as the ones in the back of the coach. They look the same. This is a full blackout here, and then we have door and the front ones as well. And then we have another replica of that, what we looked at in the back bathroom that can be used with an app on the My Rosie app on your phone or on the tablet there as well. Another flat screen Samsung 4K TV. And then the seats, just, you need to check out these seats. They are heated and cooled. They have massage. They're, of course, powered in every way with lumbar support back and forth and footrests that can come up there. They both do turn around so they can become part of that living area as well. And then I'm going to turn this guy on. You can hear the air checking itself, the air system. And everything's starting to wake up. All right. All right, you'll notice that steering wheel went right to center when it was ready. That's part of the Comfort Drive steering system. Its goal is to keep you centered on the road. So Comfort Drive steering is a very big deal with the Newmar product. It makes it so much better and easier to drive than other brands, even other very high-end brands. So we also have the ability to bring the pedals closer or further to me with the touch of a button. We have tilt and telescope on these little buttons right here as well. Let's see, there's my pedals on the right side. And then we can change what we're looking at on the screen here by just pushing buttons on the steering wheel. So right now I'm looking at my tire pressure monitoring system. And I can also look at, let's see, let's go to settings. And you can see that's my Comfort Drive right in there. So I can go in there and make it a little bit tighter of a Comfort Drive, which will tighten up the steering wheel and make it not have very much give at all, or I can loosen it. Just depending on what kind of conditions you're driving in, that's something you can change. Also, I have, I'm going to go back. Again, that air leveling system. That's going to keep you on airbags while you're going down the road. So it really gives, on top of your normal air ride that you're going to have in every diesel pusher, this is going to be air leveling you as you're going down the road as well. So, excuse me, if you're driving kind of on an uneven road, it's going to actually pull you up. That can also be used when you're parked, of course. So that's a really cool feature. Over here, we have your more traditional HWH computerized leveling. Those bring down 4 jacks that keep you from rocking when you're parked. Also can help you if there's a lot of incline. And then we of course have your Allison transmission right here. Very simple reverse neutral drive. You can make it go into a manual, eco, or automatic. It's automatic anyway, but you can get a little more control if you choose to this way. All right, we have an engine brake integrated here, on, off, high, medium, low. We have the ability to dump our tag right there. And then we have memory settings for our steering wheel as well as our seats up here. And super handy if you swap drivers. And then we of course have powered mirrors with heat. Lighting's just like any other lighting. ATC override, this is your window opening for your tow window here. So that's really nice, just a push of a button there. Air horn on and off. We've got your cruise control right here on this tab, or rather, not a tab, I'm sorry. This control right here. And we do have the mobile eye system already integrated in here as well. So if you're getting too close to that car in front of you and you're cruising, that's gonna let you know about that. So this right here is your CURT Spectrum brake controller already integrated. If you don't know what that means, it's a brake controller for whatever you're towing. So it's a big deal that it's already on here. You can stick a stacker trailer or just a vehicle back there, and it's going to brake that system for you as well when you get that all hooked up. But nice to already have that part set up. This, of course, is your audiovisual equipment. So we've got radio, XM, Sirius, all of those things. You can check your camera system here and change that to whatever view you would like. So for example, if I want a 360-degree camera, I can have this picture populate. It looks like there's a drone flying above me. If I want to just keep an eye on my driver's side at all times, I can do that as well, or keep an eye on whatever it is that I'm towing from 3 different views there as well. So we have a jumper here basically for, say your house batteries are low, you want to jump them with your chassis battery, you can do that here, or vice versa. We also have a heavy tow function on or off. Oh, we have a visitor on our camera. That's a first. I have not seen that before. So we have front fan here. That's actually going to be your heating system in this front area that's separate from your chassis heat. So when you have your Oasis Chinook system on, you can also have it coming out here at your feet and really warming this place up. We have overhead fans, and those are basically going to be like a defrost for you, but they are tucked away. Some motorhome brands will put little metal fans up there, but these are not going to be visible at all to you just because they're going for a very sleek look. We have your dock lights, courtesy lights. Those are your little floor lights so you can get to the back when it's dark. Generator start and stop, entry lock, and then we have your visors here, which are those day shades versus the night shades that we looked at earlier. When your engine is running, this is only going to let me take them to halfway so that I'm not having an obstructed view. Of course, this is a very simple heating and cooling system up here, and then we've got a couple little drawers. Put your sunflower seeds, extra keys and things like that, and of course a push button start. I'm going to put that in accessory mode so that hopefully I can get my generator out, but I don't have to have the engine actually running. All right, going out, just tiny little, these are just little bitty places to put things, but worth looking at. That's your Wi-Fi Ranger. And then another little lighted cabinet there. This is something I feel is really nice. Of course, the driver has navigation control of the stereo system and the cameras, but so does the passenger. The reason that that comes in important is so that the driver is not distracted. You don't have to pull over on the side of the road to program it, etc. This person can type in an address for you, so it'll connect there and tell the driver where to go. Also can give you heads up, oh, we're going to be turning right in a mile, you might want to get over, things like that. Really nice system. I jokingly call it the navigation system because I would be nagging if I had this, but it actually is a really great safety feature. Of course, we have some control switches over here. Patio light, you can make it white or amber. The visor for this step cover is actually what's going to cover this area, so you can walk on this as if it were the floor. Also not feel like your feet are dangling when you're in this seat. We have stepwell lighting, ceiling light, and map light, and then another charging station for a phone there. On the screen door, the screen itself is retractable. I think that's just such a great feature because when you're not parked camping, you want to be able to see outside. All right. And then You get to see this absolutely gorgeous paint job here. This is, of course, full body paint. Newmar does an excellent job making sure this is done very well. It also is cut and buffed, so there is no seam here. You don't feel where the transition from one paint color is to another. This is a programmable door entry code as well as doorbell, and a really nice grab handle that will light up if you need be. And then our steps here are hydraulic. They stop when they hit something such as a curb. We have Michelin tires all around, and we have dual fill diesel here, so you can do both sides at the same time and not have to waste time at the pump. Then we have these really nice push button locks for our basement. And this is that outdoor refrigerator freezer I was speaking of earlier for your Costco runs. And this comes out really far, because if I had left that slide out, this is where it would end approximately. So if I were to need to access this, I'd need it to be out this far. So you can program this to be both freezers, both refrigerators, one of each. However you need to use it, it's able to do that. We have that felt carpeting down in this basement area as well for the same reasons. And then all of your manuals are included in this booklet right here, or rather binder, I should say, or folder, bag, whatever it is. All right, and those doors are self-closing. They suck themselves in. Here we have number 4 of your Samsung flat screen 4K TV, as well as integrated Bose soundbar. They all 4 do have those. Some of them are a little bit more tucked away and hidden. Now this is the first of our pull-out trays. Now these trays will come out 60% to either side of the coach. And the reason that's important is because you want to be able to get to the things that are packed in the middle of the coach. These are those extra tiles I was telling you about that Newmar includes for you, and they're perfectly matching, so they don't have to go find these in 10 years if you ever happen to break one. And then they did add a little shelf here just for extra storage space, because this area is going to be impeded by that chassis rail, so you couldn't really use the space if you were just to use this thing. So this is actually going to give you a little bit more space to use. All right, this one's a little bit wider, but it does the same thing, so I won't pull it out all the way. There's a little table that's been included here. That was the passenger's little table for the cockpit area, so they can work on their laptop or eat a sandwich or whatever. Some people find it gets in their way. They don't like it. So this one was just simply removed. It can very easily be put back on, but it's kind of a cute little idea, kind of like when you're on an airplane and you have your little tray table. That's basically what that's going to do. This one also comes out 60% to either side, but it sucks itself back in. All right, so this one is a manual tray versus those powered ones, because there are some things on the other side that it just cannot, it couldn't go all the way through to, which is our Oasis system. We do have our slide out controllers here, so if you ever needed to reset those, you know where they are. And that's something that if you were to have a problem, you could call Newmar, and they can help you troubleshoot these things quite easily over the phone. And I love that about them. This is your central vacuum system. You can put your hose into there and vacuum down here. This is where you're going to empty your bag as well. But just know you can vacuum the basement as well as the upstairs. So this one, not very exciting. There is a water tank behind there, but a good place to put tools, extra little bottles of fluids and things. It was mostly used space, so they tried to take advantage of whatever they could there with that 4 inches or so. Here again, Michelin tires. This is a steerable tag, and that's going to give you a much tighter turning radius. I have done this multiple times, U-turns at stoplights in this 45-foot long coach. So believe it, I've done it. It's amazing. I always take my test drive people on tight turns so that they can see it. And every time what they say is, wow, I can't believe I just did that. So it's amazing. Here we have the outside view of that emergency exit door. So you can see it's really not that far down, but it does have an integrated ladder if you needed to climb down that way too. This is your DEF tank, and it is also dual fill, so you can fill from both sides at the same time. And then back here we just have chassis batteries, air filter. Your chassis reset is there as well. And these little guys, if you're wondering, are just sensors. So they're telling you if you're too close to somebody or things like that. Okay, we have your rear view camera right here. We've got 20,000 pound towing receiver here. We've got a setup for your camera system for whatever you're towing. 7-way pin, and your airline is already set up as we talked about before. And then we have very easy access to this engine compartment. Again, this is a 605 Cummins. Everything's really accessible here as far as checking your oil and things like that. Spartan does a great job of that, making sure that you can access things and kind of check them yourself. Of course, we have a side radiator on this coach. It's much darker on this side of the coach too. Here's the other side of that DEF fill. This is just a little compartment to put your dirty gloves or just anything like that that's kind of messy and you want to keep it separate. That's what that is for, and it is clean out or rinse outable. All right, here we have your water bay, and you'll see we have an exterior shower, we have a whole house water filter, we have a macerating system on top of just having macerating toilets. You are going to be very macerated here in this coach. That was a joke. You also have a mana block system, which means that say you had a leak in your half bath faucet, you can turn that specific one off, water to that area, and keep the rest of your water on. If something were to happen in just one area of the coach, you can isolate and turn off. You do have a power retractable water reel, as well as traditional dump capabilities. So if your macerator happened to not be working or something, you can just use a traditional black hose. We do have a black tank rinse as well as a gray tank rinse and auto tank fill. All right, so here we have your transfer switch with surge protector already integrated. We have a 50-foot, 50-amp cord here. And this is, of course, on a power rewind reel. Simply push this button here, and it will pull itself back onto the reel. There's a pass-through there for it as well. All right. This is your Oasis Chinook system that we were talking about earlier. As your tankless hot water heater. Very clean burning, easy to service, and less frequent servicing than the other guys. This is just the other side of that full pass-through, the larger one. It comes out 60% to this way as well. And this is that smaller tray that we saw as well with those extra tiles on there. All right, here we have your two 3,000 watt inverters, as well as your Lithionics battery. There is room to add more, but we have two of those giant Lithionics batteries there. This is important because it will power your coach even without, while you're going down the road, let's say that. You don't have to turn your generator on to get your air conditioning going in the house portion. So if you have guests traveling with you, you don't have to travel with that generator running. It's quite noisy because it's up in the front. So really a nice benefit for that. All right, then over here, we've got more brains. So lots of wiring here. Don't get overwhelmed. Newmar does a really great job of marking all of their wires, so you can see exactly which one is which, what I am doing with these. This is actually probably more helpful when you go to the shop, that the techs aren't searching for wires, which one does which. They're already very clearly marked throughout the coach, so they can troubleshoot much more quickly, which means a lot less money spent in diag fees. So that's really good for you. Generator is hidden up here, and it's a big guy. Of course, it's a Cummins Onan quiet diesel generator. Very easy to access since it's on this slide out. I can jump right in here. I can see that we have 136 hours on here. And service it, change the oil. I can change my windshield washer fluid, etc. Everything is very accessible, and that's definitely a bonus of having a higher end coach. So that about wraps up this Newmar Essex. I don't think it's going to be here for long because it's so beautiful, and what a great savings in price over purchasing a new one right now. Newmar quality is not rivaled, truly. So if you're interested in this coach, please ask for me by name. Give me a call at 303-684-3427. Again, I'm Teresa Crawley. Thank you for watching.